run the jungle, and if you don't know me, I'm a hangry animal, and you know that I'm hungry. We got zebras, we got gorillas, and if you try to sell, then it's Thriller in Manila.
Hey everybody, Hangry crew. It's Andy Van Gogh here. Changed my name. I'm just going to be Andy Van Gogh now, just because I paint stuff and I make cool shit. I hope everybody's good. Just wanted to kind of check in really and give everybody an update as to where things stand and what we've been up to. First of all, we have no set date for our mint collection yet, our first collection. The sort of the powers that be and the kind of the organization of who we're dealing with is not ready to rock. So we're gonna, we're just gonna build. We're just building in the background, and like I say, with the current markets and the state of the markets, probably a good idea to do that building now. So with that in mind, we're focusing on the metaverse and connecting with several owners and people who run specific metaverses. Sandbox is looking quite promising. I really like the low poly style of Sandbox and the expansive universe that they've created, the multiverse that they've created. So we will be exploring what we do with Sandbox and trying to get a more developed and a more advanced game ready to go for when we mint, and so that instant utility, or all of the things I keep on going on about, where out the gate, holders have something to play with and have something to enjoy. So with that in mind, we've got two hairs running, one with Sandbox and building a full comprehensive game within Sandbox, and the other is with a super cool metaverse called TCG World. Now, tcg.world. So have a look at that and see what you think. There's some nice stuff in there, and yeah, the ability to flesh out an entire game for training the Hangrys will be something that we're going to seriously explore. So some really good conversations had in the last couple of weeks, and an additional one to that was Friday. Had a fantastic, truly mind-melding conversation with the guys behind Mega Weapon. So Mega Weapon is a game, an NFT game metaverse with a token rewards mechanism and a rebase token that is distributed to the development of each of the games, so that they can have a perpetual, value, but also feeding back into the development pot. And that's something we've always wanted to ensure that we tie up. So yeah, really good, lovely guys. Matt and Boba Fett, who I spoke with, were just, inspirational. And I think they've got a really cool project that they built out with their dev team from the ground up, and making waves. So we're going to continue that conversation in the next couple of weeks and see how we can align and join forces. Who knows what happens? But essentially, we're gunning for a game that involves Hangry. That being either micro games, challenges, fighting games where they each pick your Hangry and they fight the alien species, or a more threaded piece with training your Hangry. So yeah, we're working along those lines. With that metaverse and potentially doing a short series, the metaverse movie or a mini movie, using the metaverse and the characters within that. So we'll see where that goes. But essentially, we're just having some very, very grown-up conversations about how we can collaborate. Illustrations wise, I'm just building more cool layers. You've seen sharing in the OG channel where we've got the sort of almost Doctor Strange, kind of Brylan the bear. New background textures coming together, and several flavors of Chet that we're going to roll out as the access NFT for the metaverse. So the Chet NFT will be that NFT that you have to have to gain access to our whichever metaverse we choose. That's the one you're going to need to gain access. All OGs will get one from the off, so you will get distributed the Chet with different flags. So we have different flag backgrounds to demonstrate that multinational kind of vibe. So yeah, that will be part of a ERC 1155 minted Chet. The other things we talk about Hangryverse. We're going to build a game in an established metaverse, but I think the ultimate goal is that we have our own ecosystem. So we have our own Hangryverse. We have something that we can own that, you know, is tradable. We have NFT opportunities to swap, buy assets within inside the Hangryverse that sort of add to your character, be them weapons, armor, you know, leather jackets, traits, bikes, vehicles, all those things that would be cool utilities that we'll probably have to do in our own metaverse in order to control it, I guess, and to give ultimate value to everybody. So yeah, the Hangryverse is something we're seriously thinking about in the long term. Obviously, with the NFT drop, and we've got a story that we're building, my personal opinion is that we need something that is the mid-ground entertainment piece, something that is quite easy to develop, and that's words, story, and a comic series. So conversation today that I had with a really good friend of mine called Terry Cooper, and Terry is a writer, a script writer, director, and commissioned to do a lot of you know, script reviews. So myself and Terry were exploring the origin stories of each of the characters and how we just testing the water with the Hangryverse in terms of the Hangry universe, the narrative around everything we've got. And we came to a conclusion that we've actually got a pretty solid story. So we were thinking that we'll potentially, we're going to start writing the first of 5. So there'll be 5 origin stories. We're going to start writing the first of 5 for Otis and flesh out what that backstory looks like, how the Tarball event affects Otis's life pre, during, and after, and then we'll move on to the other characters. So we'll end up with 5 really cool, nice, collectible comics, digital comics. Now, this book, Origins, the Turtles, does it go? There you go. The ultimate annual history, visual history, sorry. Within this, you get first edition Turtles comic, and it's just a nice little black and white action-packed comic. And I'm thinking we're going to end up doing something similar like this for each of the origin stories. So what that'll mean is, just spilling coffee as you do. What that will mean is we'll have Otis first, probably Sabrina second, Susanna, Bryland, and Marv. Now, that's only 5, but there will be a 6th comic that will be a potential physical comic, or a digital version that combines all 5, and then the final chapter of the story will be, as I say, the final chapter, the first adventure of the Hangrys as they formulate will be in that 6th comic. So we're starting to work on that. We're starting to write the narrative, the plot twists, and all of the pieces to bring the universe together. And thinking about Tarbal. Tarbal is one L, and we're thinking about it because AL in Latin is like the plural, or everything to do with that subject. Medical, medic, al. So it's everything to do with medicine. So Tarbal is everything to do with Tarb. So we're just tightening on the story and tightening on those little plot holes that we have come across, trying to make it as legitimate and believable. And when people land in the world, they go, oh shit, yeah, these characters are super strong, they're super hungry, they're oppressed, they're frustrated with the world and with what we've done to it, and shit's about to get real. So yeah, we've been really sweating the detail on the backstory to make sure that it stands up to scrutiny, because as soon as we release it and as soon as people get their hands on it, that will be a genuine thing that people will call us out on. So we're just trying to cover all bases. But yeah, we came up with some really cool things. How far away is the planet that possesses the Tarbal? Naturally, 11,111 million light years away came to mind. So the concept really threads into the NFT collection and this sort of expansive universe that we're trying to create. Yeah, so covering off a lot of pieces there. Building. Conversations running with Reveal that do a digital swipe. So as you can check the validity of your NFT, but also if the collection is a rug or a potential scam, and you scan it and someone's compromised or taken a screen grab of your NFT, then you'll be able to prove that that's not the actual legitimate version, but each Hangry that you hold, when you scan it and pinch pull, that you'll be able to see that it's the genuine copy, the genuine version. So we're all after legitimacy, uniqueness, and validity for each of these PFPs. So it's all culminating in a nice nice story. As you can see behind me, we've got recruiting soon, the Hangry Army. And that is your segue into Chet and the EDFUF characters that will be needed to jump into the metaverse. So cool. Timings wise, with the metaverse thing, there's likely to be 2-3 months of build to flesh out the mini narrative and the mini game, and in tandem, I think the comics will take that amount of time as well. But I'd like to get one of the episodes of the comic out soon, and OGs only for now. And once the NFT collection is primed and ready to drop, then exactly you will be airdropped, or we'll find how to attribute each of the episodes of the comics to your characters. Incidentally, I mentioned it before, everyone who's purchased as an OG in the private pre-sale will be getting double the amount of Hangrys that you were originally sort of pledged, because I'm fully aware that we're dragging our heels, or that we're stalled. We're off our own back and off external factors. We've paused and we've stalled the sort of the energy and the sort of momentum of the project but for good reason. But in doing so, obviously there are some frustration, and there's some people who kind of potentially believe that we have bad actors or whatnot, but hell no. That's this is something that is just so passionate about, so much belief that we want to make this a success, that is not on our lips. This is nowhere near where we want to take this thing. So we're genuinely just getting starting on this journey. But in doing so, obviously, we understand, and I understand that there's some frustrations around the drop hasn't happened. Luckily now, with everything that's gone on in the bloody crypto space of the last 72 hours, holding off and not having a set date in mind was a bloody good idea, because it's just fraught with ups and downs, and we have to prepare ourselves for the eventuality of kind of a token drop or a kind of spike or some sort of shorted activity once the token is out there and released. So yeah, I think I just wanted to make sure that we honor those early investments, and you know, with great gratitude that people have stuck around. We've cleaned up Discord. You know, it is only OGs right now that are in there, and as well as the total engagement team. So really appreciate the murmur of energy that's coming through certain individuals in Telegram and Discord. Just priming ourselves, ready for what comes next, and ready for the next wave of activity, of which, you know, Bomber has a plan that we need to revisit and look over in terms of that social posts and the social activity. So we'll start to look at that now in the next couple of weeks. And just to touch base on the Hangry Hippo stuff. So obviously opportunistic individuals have seen an idea, and, you know, it's not a unique idea in terms of Hangry Hippos, but they've seen the vibe and have caught on an AMA, the energy and the stuff we were looking at, and potentially maybe not, maybe they didn't see anything, but they've caught onto a similar vibe that we're going with, and have deployed and rolled their own collection before we're ready to roll. They look a bit generic. The CG character looks a bit generic, and hence why I chose 2D, is because you get much more of a personality with a pen and pencil, and you get more of a connection to the creative and the artist than you would with a off-the-shelf 3D model that's just got some additional kind of traits thrown on it. Credit to them for launching, credit to them for doing what they've done. Not my cup of tea. We're in it for the long haul, so I'm not going to get super frustrated and angry about what's happened. But good luck to them. You never know, there may be some form of collaboration further down the line. Go and look in the Discord, you'll see that there's murmurs of activity, but majority of the activity is from the actual owners and developers. So who knows if it's a genuine project with genuine individuals who've invested. I think they made about 250 grand, you know, whatever. Fantastic, well done. But yeah, like I said, not my cup of tea. That's not the vibe that we're going for with the 2D 80s 90s retro illustrative style. Something that's not symmetrical, that's not perfect. It just gives that edge of crafted nature to it. So that's what I'm sticking to, and that's what myself and Coinburn are adamant that we maintain, is an element of good, clean, wholesome fun and total hangriness. That's about it for the moment. I will update as and when we have more information. Some of you may think that's a non-eventful kind of check-in with information, and if so, then please let me know. Would welcome some feedback. But as of now, we are here. We're still doing meetings every other day. Every other day we're speaking to projects that are willing to collaborate and would like to know more about us. So I've got 2 conversations this week in relation to speaking at events to raise awareness of the project, and equally a follow-up conversation with the guys from Mega Weapon to understand how we can collaborate. They can have an additional project under their metaverse, and we can build out a game. So yes, as it stands, happy Sunday. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Let's get angry.
We back in the lion's den. We hangry, the big apes, and we in got the question, if you got the answer, then you know that we always pressing. Let me tell you real quick a little story about these NFTs.